Hey, okay. So I've talked about how to be a better mentee. If you haven't seen that video, go see that video. But it's a two-way street. So it's not all just up to the mentees to just do all the glaze and do all kinds of stuff. No, two-way street. So this video is talking about how to be a better mentor. In my experience, I've done several things that I've thought was able to be complementary to my mentees. Some have worked, some have not. Some relationships have been prosperous, while some have to be severed. But in all my experience, these are a few things that I have seen have been effective for mentees to be able to let me know that this mentorship experience that we've been having has been very fruitful and prospering for them. So let's get into it. To be a better mentor, first, you need to care. That's first thing. You have to care. The saying goes, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. All right? If you show that you care, that mentee is really just going to be appreciative of you. They're going to be wanting and willing to listen to you. So, how to show that you care? First, it starts with listening. You have to listen to what they're saying, listen to what they're going through, listen to their experience, listen to their thought processes, listen to your mentees so you can understand more about them and their perspective. So during your mentorship, you can be able to effectively match where they're coming from, steer it in the right direction, and explain it in a way that they would understand. Listen to them and remember some of these things. Remember their experiences. Remember their perspective. You don't got to remember everything, but remember a few things so you can show them that you care and that you think that they're important enough to actually remember. Another part of showing that you care is to give them your undivided attention. Don't nobody want no mentor that I'm trying to have a meeting with you, and then you're texting over here, you got your baby running over here that you over here feeding, but you're like, go ahead, I'm watching the turkey, go ahead. The dog running across the screen. Come on, man, give me some respect. I mean, I know I'm here, you're the mentor, yeah, that's all cool, but dang, can I have some respect? Give me your undivided attention. I'm only here for an hour, maybe two. You set the time. Give me some respect, all right? Show that you care about this, actually. Another thing with showing that you care, this is very important. That's why it's so many ways to show that you care. Give extra time, all right? If you have a mentorship experience and you and your mentee set to meet once a week for an hour, that's cool. That's really good. If you have an extra 15 minutes, go ahead and give them the extra 15 minutes. Don't immediately cut it off in that hour because it's done. If you say, hey, you know what? Give me a call a little bit later on this week. Have that open communication so they can feel like you actually care, that you actually are there for them and not just there for that commitment or that requirement or whatever. Give them a little bit extra time. If you got an extra 30 minutes, go ahead, talk to them a little bit. Not every time, within reason now. Within reason. But come on, man. Give it to them because that's showing that you care. And you should care if you're mentoring. All right? Next thing. What you need to do is create your own interpreting philosophy and how you mentor. That's important because your mentee wants to learn more about who you are, where you're coming from, and what they're going to experience within your mentorship. So for me personally, if I'm explaining my interpreting philosophy, these things will not be written down. I don't have a script. But a few things that I will say is that in order to be the best interpreter that you can be, I believe in practice. Much needed deliberate practice. And there's so many different ways to practice. So I have so many different creative ways to attack many different skills and figure out a way that you interweave interpreting in your daily life so you're always practicing. Speaking like that, I'm telling my mentee what I would do in my mentoring experience. I'm giving them an idea on how I approach it. And then they can make the decision whether I'm the good fit, whether I'm not. Maybe they're just like, well, no, man, I ain't trying to do all that. I just want to be clean 1 hour and that's it. Maybe that's them. All right, cool. But at least you know I'm not the mentor for you. Or maybe they get excited about the opportunity. They're like, okay, all right, yeah, I'm trying to figure out ways to do that too. Have an interpreting philosophy, nothing scripted that's written down unless you really need it, but just know how you approach interpreting and mentoring so that they can learn more about your perspective to evaluate if this is a good relationship or not. The next thing you need to do is create a structure for your student, your mentee to follow. You don't have to always say we're going to do this time, this date, this amount of time. You don't have to do that. But give them something to work off of, because a lot of times mentees, they're just kind of just paddling in the ocean, but they don't know how to swim. They don't know where to go. You know, they're overloaded. They're overwhelmed. Give them a structure. Say, all right, if you want to mentor with me, we're going to do this frequency, this amount of time. Okay, I want you to go ahead, shoot me a message every week, and then we can set up a time during that week. Give them something to work off of. You can make it flexible, but give them some type of structure so they can know how the mentor is going to look, so they can know what they need to do outside of your mentorship and encourage them to do things outside of your mentorship. When you give them that structure, now they know and be like, okay, I can go ahead and text you every week on Sunday so we can set up for that coming week. Or, all right, I know that we're going to meet bi-weekly on Wednesdays for 2 hours. However you need to do it, but give them some type of structure as a mentor. Don't just say, okay, yeah, I'll mentor you, so just hit me up whenever. That's not good. That's not good. All right? Next thing. This is one that's important. As a mentor, we have to stop trying to be profound and start trying to be clear when we're instructing. It is nice when you're telling your mentee, okay, well, in order to be a better interpreter, instead of interpreting the words that you hear, go ahead and think of what does it actually mean? What is the person actually trying to say? And then sign that and let that meaning drive the message off your hands. That is nice. Sounds good. Great. But how do I do that? Instead of speaking in riddles and speaking in theory and all these words, just break it down to me. What do I need to do? I think doing YouTube, actually, I wanted to really lean into trying to speak in these profound language, because if somebody quote me, I want it to be a nice quote that look good and that's, timeless and everything like that. But I couldn't do that because that's just not me, honestly. But when I'm just speaking off the top of my head, when I'm trying to explain myself as clear as possible, that's when the words are strung together, and to somebody, they're like, oh, that's what I needed to hear. Quote, it still works just like that. But instead of me trying to think about how can I be profound, just be clear on what you want. Break it down, layman's term. Break it down like I'm 4 years old. Break it down Barney style. However you need to say it, just be clear, and the profoundness will come from your clarity. Hey, interpreters, if you're looking just for an opportunity that you can grow your skills, the Beacon community of practice is where it's at. These are 90-minute sessions that really just focus on the skill. These aren't workshops, so you'll get a lot of profession, a lot of lecture. These aren't workshops with their CEUs. It's a specific skill development lab just to hit the skills that we want. We get in, we do our work, and we get out, okay? So if you're interested, click the link, okay? These classes could be on any day, anytime, and it's all online. So if you're looking for that, I'll see you there. Next thing, when you're being clear, it's important to be able to explain the 5 W's plus 1 for everything that you teach. The 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, how. Oh no, I put an H in there. Dang. Who, what, when, where, why. And the plus 1 is the how. Okay, you gotta be able to explain that for everything that you teach. You don't have to every time. Sometimes you can say something and your mentee just get it. Sure. But everything that you do teach, you explain, you want to be able to explain all of those so that they can understand it clearly and to be able to apply it when it's effective to apply that. So just make sure you're thinking deep about everything that you're telling them so that you can effectively communicate the 5 W's plus 1. Next thing you need to do is, as mentors, this one is very crucial. We are mentors. We are not the teachers. We are not the person who's giving the answers, okay? As a mentor, we guide, provide wisdom, and support. So that means for us, we need to stop trying to direct and start trying to correct. Okay. Now that one was Socrates. I was just talking. I wasn't trying to be profound right there. But anyway, what I'm saying is us doing directing means we're telling the mentee exactly what to do. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And some mentees are good at just following the directions. They can follow it. They can do it. But that's not what we want to do as mentors. We need to course correct, not course direct. So correcting is giving them the stimulus, giving them the opportunity, and let them stumble, let them fall, let them go through that experience of like, oh, that wasn't good. I'm not sure how to do that. That's experience for them. That's important. So before we tell them the answer that we have in our head or tell them the philosophy that we have in the head, before you do that, give them the opportunity to experience it themselves. Give them the opportunity, and then when they go off, you talk about it, discuss it, and then you can course correct to go back to where you need to go. But give them the opportunity to flail before you tell them what's going on or what's the right way, or before you tell them your perspective on it. Because we want them to have their own ideas, their own interpreting style, their own model, their own perspective. We don't want them to be a carbon copy of us. We're just trying to bring what's within them out. We're just trying to bring it out. So by doing that, we're letting them go. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, maybe they're different, but let them go first, then discuss it, and then put in your perspective. When I did not realize that, oftentimes I would see mentees and they would tell me, man, I don't know if I ever be an interpreter like you. I don't know if I'll ever be as good as this interpreter. You know, they feel defeated. And I'm over here thinking like, why is that the case? And I realized I wasn't giving them the chance to even try. And then I wasn't discussing why their attempt was either right, wrong, or indifferent. I wasn't giving them that space. I was just telling them. So they was taking it in, but they always thought, okay, he has the right answer. I don't. That's not what we want. Give them the opportunity and then instruct them on what you need them to do. That's really important. The next thing you need to do is hold your students accountable. Hold them accountable. Mentees need that. Mentors, you hold yourself accountable, and holding them accountable, you have to hold yourself accountable. So if you say we're going to be meeting bi-weekly, you got to be ready for bi-weekly meetings just as much as they are. But if they don't show up, just shoot them a message, shoot them a text, an email. Just say, hey, we were supposed to meet today. What happened? Just ask them what happened. It don't matter what kind of excuse they come up. Oh, my goldfish fell out the tank. I had to go refill it up. Whatever happened, don't matter. You just take it. Okay, all right, well, let me know when you're ready for the next session. Just put the ball back in their court, and that's it. You don't have to hound them. You don't have to keep messaging them. You don't have to berate them. It's just holding them accountable. It's their mentorship, but you're doing your part into making sure that you're available for them. With the mentees that actually care, they're going to stop coming up with these excuses, and they're going to be like, okay, yeah, I need to make sure I'm good on Wednesdays every 2 weeks. Or for the mentees that really don't, you'll end up noticing that they're always missing their sessions, and then you can be like, all right, well, I guess that's just it. It's all good. but hold them accountable for that, because that's a part of support too. And last but definitely not least, us as mentors, we have to be transparent and relatable with our mistakes. There are a lot of times that I've gone through mentorship where I'm the mentee. I'm working with people and I'm like, goodness gracious, how can I ever become this interpreter? I mean, they got all the answers. They know all the signs. They know all the concepts. I think that they're perfect, but they're not. They tell me that they're not, but they've never showed it to me. When I was a mentor, first, second, third, and I'm continuing to mentor, when I'm doing that, I definitely, sometimes I send a video to a mentee and then we're both interpreting it and they get to a concept and they struggle. They're like, I'm not sure how to sign that. They ask me, instead of me just trying to come up with something, if I don't know, I don't know. And I would actually tell them, I'm like, shoot, that would be hard for me to interpret too. Stuff like that, I'm telling you, it makes that relationship just much better. Because now the mentee, they think, okay, so I can be a certified interpreter and still have things that I'm not sure how to interpret? Okay. It's just relatable. I'm human. I don't know everything. I can't do everything. And I tell them that openly. I show them my mistakes. I tell them when I'm watching the video, we're watching both of us interpret. I will tell them, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I would give myself feedback so they can see that there's still room to grow for each and every person. You don't want to seem like you're the perfect interpreter. You don't want to seem like you can't do no wrong. So when you guys are in your mentoring sessions, work as well. You interpret as well. Don't just be clicking the button and giving feedback. Get in the rut as well so you can show them how it goes when it goes well and how it goes when it does not go well. So those are my few things for mentors on how to be a better mentor. And if you know of a few that you're like, oh, you missed this, I don't know about this, like this, whatever you got to say, put it down in the comments. But that's all I got to say for this video. I'll catch y'all on the next one.